Hello, and welcome to The Porch with Alicia Barlow. Hi, I'm Alicia Barlow, author of The Porch, a place for enjoyment, conversation with people, reflection, and encouragement. Hello, everyone. This is Alicia, author of The Porch, and I am here today with Miss Amy Tisdale. Miss Tisdale is the Miss Wheelchair USA, Miss Oklahoma Wheelchair USA. Did I say it right?
Miss Wheelchair Oklahoma USA.
Miss Wheelchair Oklahoma USA. She's going to tell us about this title and the events that are coming up to be the national title, which will be what? Miss Wheelchair
USA.
Miss Wheelchair USA. And I met her at an event and was just elated to talk to her. And she has a platform that she's running on, and we'll talk about that. But Miss Wheelchair USA is something new that I've kind of just heard about maybe a couple of years ago. I met another lady that was Miss, Oklahoma Wheelchair USA at that time. And so this is kind of tell us about a little bit about this program.
It's new to me, too.
Okay.
I didn't know about it till a couple of years ago myself.
Oh, okay.
But Miss Wheelchair USA, basically it gives glamour, self-confidence, and celebrates achievements of women with disabilities.
Okay. All right. And so, yes, you sent me some information that talks about that, promoting glamour, increasing self-confidence and community service, celebrating the accomplishments of women with disabilities. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What prompted you to join this organization, and how are you able to join this organization?
In October of 2021, I had a massive stroke on my right side, which left my left side paralyzed. And I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair part-time, not a full-time user.
Okay.
But any woman with any kind of mobility disability can be in this pageant.
Okay. I was reading that. So that does say that you don't have to be totally in a wheelchair. You can use a prosthesis or some other form of mobile device, such as a cane or a walker. So that's interesting. That's good. So you had a stroke in 2021, you said?
I did.
All right. And gosh, you're looking good. And
Thank you.
And it's a blessing that you're here.
Yes, it is. God is really taking care of me.
There you go. I agree. So not only are you a survivor of a stroke, but you are an author.
I am. I've published 8 books already and have a couple more almost ready to go.
All right. So the books that you've written, are they from your experiences from being a stroke survivor?
The first one I wrote actually brought you a copy, Alicia. It's called The Scars Tell the Story. It's a 30-day devotional kind of outlining with some lessons God's taught me through recovery.
Wow. Thank you. What are some things that you've learned? I mean, I spoke with you a little while back, and you were saying how God has really shown you some things from your stroke.
Absolutely.
And so what are some things that you feel that you're learning from it and that you can share with others?
That I am not alone, that I have a God who loves me and sees me and wants to take care of me and wants me to be whole and healed.
Yes.
And I will be one day, whether it's here or in heaven. One of these days I'm running the Golden Street Marathon.
Love it. So let's kind of going back to the Miss Wheelchair USA. There's a platform that you're running on.
Yes.
And so what is that? What is your information or that you're wanting to get out to people?
My platform is titled Respect the Lines. Mm-hmm. After being in a wheelchair for a little while, I realized how bad disabled parking is abused. It's hard to find a spot sometimes, and sometimes I can find one, but the striped off area for van access, for wheelchair access, there's shopping carts or people leave trash there or park in that spot. Mm-hmm. And that's dangerous for me to get around.
Yes.
And sometimes it makes it impossible to get out of my own vehicle.
Okay.
So that's my platform, is to raise awareness and educate the public on the proper use of those places.
Yes.
You have to have a valid permit, and courtesy would be if you don't need it, then park somewhere else and leave that spot for someone else. And the permit the person with the permit has to be with you.
Yes.
You can't just say, I'm going to borrow my grandma's tag and park there.
Which happens a lot.
A lot.
Yes. And so you said respect the lines. I like
Respect the
that.
lines,
Respect the
yes.
lines. We hear always, kind of respect the lines in other ways.
Right. When you respect the lines, you respect the person. Let someone have dignity and independence that needs it.
And that's great. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. So making sure that people that are needing, like you said, needing to park in those areas, that those areas are available for them. And so so you said that you kind of came about that because as, from your recovery and the things that you're going through now, you found that it was a problem.
It's a huge challenge.
Sometimes we don't think about that because we're not in that predicament or we're not in that situation. And now you're in that situation, you see it, and you're able to tell other people that, hey, this is something that needs to be looked at more carefully and be respected.
Yes, I have friends that actually message me. I did not realize how bad this was until I started looking. It's like, yeah, you look for it, you find it.
Yes.
I've just had people park bad just to give me content to talk about sometimes. I almost can't go anywhere anymore without finding a vehicle parked wrong. I get messages and pictures from people all the time. Check this one out.
Yes.
Yep.
So when you say that they're parked wrong, do you find that they're parked because when you say wrong, because they don't have a decal or...
That's one reason, but a lot of times they're parked in the van access space.
Okay. So is there a difference between the van access space and just a regular handicap parking space?
You'll have a handicap parking space, and beside it, there's going to be diagonal lines, and that's for van access for a ramp, for a wheelchair, and for loading and unloading a person with a disability.
Okay. Do you find that there needs to be more parking?
It would be nice, yes. Yeah. There's a lot of people with tags, whether it's theirs or one they've taken from grandma's car.
Yeah. Well, also because I feel that the population is getting older.
Yes.
And as we get older, there are more things that we're having to deal with, the population. And so, I think probably more parking spaces that are accessible for people that need them would be something to kind of talk about.
And
as
not
well.
every disability is visible. There are people that may have a heart condition. You can't see that on the outside, but they need that spot so they don't have to walk as far to get to a building.
Exactly.
And blocking off that access could keep someone from going to the grocery store or even making a doctor's appointment.
You are so right. You are so right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Trust me, that spot's not a privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be like, hey, I don't want to be in this chair. I'd rather park in the back than have to park up front. That spot it's a right. It's not a privilege.
It's a right, and it's a necessity.
Absolutely.
It's a necessity for a lot of people. So thank you for bringing that awareness to people. And so tell us a little bit more about Miss Tisdale. You're married.
I am married to my husband, Matt. We got married in 1998. Okay. We have 2 children. Our youngest just graduated high school and is going off to college in August.
So you're going to be an empty nester.
We are. I also have our first grandbaby. She'll be 1 next month.
Oh, wow.
A lot happening in August. Okay. She'll turn 1. Our son goes to college.
Okay.
And then my daughter and her husband are moving for his job. So we'll really be empty nesters. Oh, wow. August is going to be a very emotional month for this Mimi.
Yes. But until then, I know I'm kind of going back and forth, but that's just kind of how, when you're talking on the porch, you just kind of go back and forth, right? The contest for Miss Wheelchair USA is this month.
Yes, actually leave next week to go to Ohio, in Akron, Ohio, for the national pageant.
Okay. Now,
there'll be a week of stuff there.
Does this happen every year?
Yes.
Okay. And is it always in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where it was kind of conceptualized and everything.
That's for the headquarters. Miss Wheelchair USA is under the Dane Foundation, which is an organization that provides the things that people with disabilities may need. There's an application process for that. They also do a Project ELF every year and provide Christmas to families that have disabilities and need assistance. It's a really neat organization. Faith-based, which is something that drew me to them. It's not just a pageant. It's real about community service.
Community service. I was reading some information here, and it does sound faith-based. And I hear the faith that you have when you talk about just growing closer to, Christ, even through your disability. But there was something that I saw here, and I was like, oh, I saw some information about there's other programs within this.
You may have seen the Crowns for Christ.
Yes. Crowns for Christ. They have various types of workshops, red bands of courage. I don't know. What is that?
People have the little rubber bands they wear on their wrists that have words on it.
Okay.
These are red bands that say courage.
Okay. All right. Then they have a fashion show for accessible clothing.
Yes. We'll be doing that during the pageant week.
Oh, really? Now I would like to see that. That would be nice.
Me too. It'll be interesting.
Yes, because that's something that is needed.
Oh, yes.
More accessible clothing.
Absolutely.
And that's something as an occupational therapist that I have kind of looked at myself when I'm working with people that have various disabilities or whatever, and just putting their clothes on, and the caregiver who's having maybe to help them put their clothes on. So yes. So have you seen one of their fashion shows?
I have not.
Okay. Have you been to one of the formats of any form other than what you're getting ready to do? Is this your first time?
This is my first time to see and experience
everything.
I've been on their YouTube page to look at former years just to kind of get a feel for what's going on.
All right. Well, let me know about the fashion show.
Okay.
That'd be great. Let's see, what else do they do? You said Crowns for Christ.
Yes.
Now, what exactly is that?
That is a newer program that they have. And it's kind of like a Women of Faith event where women that are part of the organization can share their testimony and encourage other women in the faith.
Okay. So do you go out on speaking circuits to speak about?
We were going to have our first event next weekend, but it's been postponed. I'm not sure the new date yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yes, we'll have speaking sessions to go to.
Great. So on July 14th is the event.
That's when it starts.
Is there someone from every state, or do you know that?
There's not one from every state. They have state and regional title holders.
Okay.
Like if there would have been another Oklahoma contestant, they could have done a regional title, like South Central or something.
Okay.
If they needed to have another spot. Because you have to go through a process to even earn a title. It's not just pay for a crown. There's a process to win the crown for your state or title.
What were some of the things that you had to do to win your title?
You have to come up with a platform, outline how you would promote that platform, your marketing plan, your platform plan, and how you would promote that and Ms. Wheelchair USA and the Dane Foundation. There's a video component. You have to talk about your platform on a video. There's a lot of paperwork to fill out. It's an application. Then it goes to judges, and they rate everything you've sent in with points. And the highest points win the crown.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Already won.
1-1.
You've already won. All right, then. And so to get the national title, the contest is on July 14th. Is that correct?
It's a week-long of different contests throughout the week.
Okay.
And the final event's going to be on the 19th.
On the 19th.
Yes.
All right, then. Okay. And you are raising money to help out with your expenses. And so what are some things that people can do to help donate for your cause?
They can go to the danefoundation.org and find events and find Ms. Wheelchair USA, and then scroll to donate and look for my name, Amy Tisdale for Oklahoma, and donate there. There's also a People's Choice Award going on right now. People can vote for me to be People's Choice winner, and that's in the same place. Just go to the danefoundation.org or MsWheelchairUSA.org.
Okay. Now, Dane, D-A-N-E?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's MsWheelchairUSA.org.
Yes. MS Ms. Just for people that might think it's Miss, it's MS Wheelchair USA.
Right. And so I saw that they have other contests going on. There's a
They do. There's
Miss
a teen.
Teeny. Okay.
Yes, they have Miss Teen Wheelchair USA happening the same week.
Okay.
After the national contest, there could be an international one as well.
Oh, wow. Will that be their first one?
No.
No. Okay.
We have a Miss Wheelchair International right now that I'll meet next week.
Oh, okay. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, if someone wants to just reach out to you and congratulate you or wish you well, how can they do that?
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
Authored by Amy is my business page.
Okay.
Or they can find me through Miss Wheelchair Oklahoma on
Miss
Facebook.
Wheelchair Oklahoma. Yeah. All right. Well, Miss Tisdale, Miss Amy Tisdale, I thank you for just taking out time and coming.
Thanks for having me.
And speaking with me and letting people know more about this organization. Like I said, this is something that's new that I just heard about maybe a year or two ago. And you yourself just heard about it you said about a couple of years ago.
Right.
And so maybe just getting the word out even more, you know, and then talking about your platform, which is really, really good. I think that is a good platform to talk about and to increase awareness on. And so I appreciate that as a therapist and as just an individual, and working with people that have various disabilities and knowing the challenges that they have to go through.
Right.
So that's great. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me on the porch.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for listening and joining me on the porch. Remember to take time to reflect, share memories, and engage with others on your porch. And I'll meet you here next time on The Porch, your podcast for community conversations, brought to you by the Possibilities Podcast platform.